Hello students, I am Raghavendra Kumar Singh, faculty of US Academy and Institute. Today we will discuss class 10th Geography's 4th chapter, Agriculture. As we know, 2/3 of Indian population is engaged in agricultural activities. Agriculture is a primary activity which produces most of the food raw material for various industries. In this chapter we will discuss about the various type of farming, cropping pattern and major crops which are grown in India, and also how agriculture contributes to the national economy, employment and outputs. Types of farming. The cultivation method depend upon the characteristic of the physical environment, technological know-how and social cultural practices. Farming varies from subsistence to commercial type in different parts of India. The following farming practices. Number 1. Primitive subsistence farming. It is a slash and burn agriculture. Farmers clear a patch of land and produce cereals and other food crops. When the soil fertility decreases, the farmers shift and clear a fresh patch of land for cultivation. It is known by different names in different parts of the country. It is known as jhuming in northeastern states. Land productivity is low in this type of agriculture. This type of farming depends on monsoon. This farming is practiced in a few parts of India. Now, the intensive subsistence farming. This type of farming is practiced in an area of high population pressure on lands. It is labor-intensive farming where high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation are used for higher production. Commercial farming. This type of farming uses higher doses of modern input such as high-yielding variety of seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, and pesticides to obtain higher productivity. Plantation is a type of commercial farming in which a single crop is grown on a large area. Plantation covers large tract of land using capital-intensive input. With the help of migrant laborers, all the produce is used as a raw material in industries. For example, tea, coffee, rubber, sugarcane. Now, the cropping pattern. Cropping pattern. India has 3 cropping systems: Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Rabi, Kharif and Zaid sowing seasons. Winter from October to December. Beginning of the rainy season between April and May. In between the Rabi and the Kharif season, there is a short season during the summer months known as Zaid season in the month of March to July. Harvesting season summer from April to June, September to October. Important crops are sown in these months are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard, paddy, maize, jowar, bajra and tuar means the arhar, and moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut and soybean, watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables and fodder crops. Now, major crops. A variety of food and non-food crops are grown in different parts of India, depending upon the variation in soil, climate, and cultivation practices. Major crops grown in India are rice, wheat, millets, pulses, tea, coffee, sugarcane, oil seeds, cotton, jute. Now, firstly the rice. It is a kharif crop. It requires high temperature and high humidity with annual rainfall above 100 centimeter. India is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. It is grown in the plains of north and northeastern India, coastal areas, and the deltaic region. Wheat. This is a rabi crop. It requires a cool growing season and bright sunshine. At the time of ripening, it requires 50 to 75 centimeter of annual rainfall, evenly distributed over the growing season. The Ganga Satluj plains in the northwest and black soil regions of the Deccan are two main wheat growing zones in India. It is the second most important cereal crop and main food crop in the north and northwestern parts of India. Now millet. Jowar, bajra and ragi are the important millet grown in India. These are known as coarse grain and have very high nutritional value. Jowar, bajra, ragi are the third most important food crop with respect to area and production. It grows well on sandy soils and shallow black soil. It is a crop of dry region. It is a rain-fed crop mostly grown in the moist areas. Grown well on red, black, sandy loamy and shallow black soils. Mainly produced in the Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra and Madhya Pradesh. Major producing states are Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. Major producing states are Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jharkhand and Arunachal Pradesh. Now maize. It is a kharif crop. It requires temperature between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius and grows well in old alluvial soil. It is used both as food and fodder. Major maize producing states are Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Now pulses. It is the largest producer and consumer of pulses in the world. Pulses are the major source of protein in a vegetarian diet. Major pulses grown in India are tuar means arhar, urad, moong, masoor, peas and gram. Pulses are mostly grown in a rotation with other crops so that the soil restore fertility. Major pulses producing states are Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka. Now food crops other than grain. Sugarcane. It is a tropical as well as a subtropical crop. It grows well in hot and humid climates with a temperature of 21 to 27 degrees Celsius and annual rainfall between 75 centimeter to 100 centimeter. It can be grown on a variety of soils. Needs manual labor from sowing to harvesting India is the largest producer of sugarcane only after Brazil. Sugarcane is the main source of sugar. Gur means jaggery, khansari, and molasses. The major sugarcane producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, Punjab, and Haryana. Now, oil seeds. Different oil seeds are grown, covering approximately 12% of the total cropped area of India. Main oil seeds produced in India are groundnut, which is a kharif crop and accounts for half of the major oil seeds produced in India. Gujarat is the largest producer of groundnuts. Mustard, which is a rabi crop. Sesame, which is a kharif crop. In the north and rabi crops in South India. Castor seeds, it is grown as both rabi and kharif crop. Linseed, it is a rabi crop. Coconut, soya bean, and cotton seeds and sunflower. Now about the tea. It is also an important beverage crop introduced by the British in India. The tea plants grows well in tropical and subtropical climates with deep and fertile, well-drained soil, rich in humus and organic matter. Tea bushes requires warm and moisture, frost-free climate all through the year. Tea is a labor-intensive industry. Major tea producing states are Assam, hills of Darjeeling, and Jalpaiguri district in West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. Now coffee. Yemen coffee is produced in India, and this variety of coffee is in great demand all over the world. Its cultivation was introduced on the Baba Budan hills and is confined to the Nilgiri in Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Now horticulture crops. It is a producer of tropical as well as temperate fruits. Major crops produced are pea, cauliflower, onion, cabbage, tomato, brinjal, and potato. Some of the famous horticulture crops grown in India are mango of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal. Oranges of Nagpur and Cherrapunji, which is in Meghalaya. Bananas of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Lychee and guava of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Pineapple of Meghalaya, grapes of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana and Maharashtra. Apples, pear, apricots, and walnuts of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. Now about the non-food crops. Rubber, fiber, cotton, jute is an equatorial crop. Cotton, jute, hemp, and natural silk are the four major fiber crops. It is a kharif crop. It is known as the golden fiber. It requires a moist and humid climate with a rainfall of more than 200 centimeter and a temperature above 25 degrees Celsius. Cotton, jute, and hemp are grown in the soil. It requires high temperature, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days, and bright sunshine for its growth. It grows well on well drained fertile soil in the flood plains. High temperature is required for its growth. It is an important industrial raw material. Natural silk is obtained from cocoon of the silkworm fed on green leaves. Cotton grows well in black cotton soil of the Deccan Plateau. It is used in making gunny bags, mats, ropes, yarn, carpets, and other artifacts. Mainly grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and Garo Hills of Meghalaya. Rearing of silkworms from the production of silk fiber is known as sericulture. Major cotton producing states are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Major jute producing states are West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha, and Meghalaya. Now, technological and institutional reforms. Agriculture provides a livelihood for more than 60% of its population. So, this sector needs some serious technical and institutional reforms. The Green Revolution and the White Revolution were some of the reforms initiated by peoples to improve agriculture. Sub-initiatives taken by the governments are scheme introduced by government such as Kisan Credit Card, Personal Accidental Insurance Scheme, Special Weather Bulletin, and agriculture programs for farmers on the radio and televisions were introduced. The governments also announces minimum support price, remuneratives, and procurement price for important crops to check the exploitation of farmers by speculators and middlemen. Now, contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment, and output. In 2010 and 11, about 52% of the total workforce was employed by the farm sector. The share of agriculture in the GDP is declining. Indian Council of Agricultural Research ICAR, agricultural universities, veterinary services, and animal breeding centers, horticulture development, research and development in the field of meteorology and weather forecast, etc., are a few of the initiatives introduced by the government to improve Indian agriculture. Now, food security. The number of peoples who do not have food security is disproportionately large in some regions of our country, particularly in economically less developed states with the higher incidence of poverty. The focus of the policy is on fixing the support price for procurement of wheat and rice to maintain their stocks. Food Corporation of India, the FCI, procures food grains from the farmers at the government announced minimum support price. The competition for large between non-agricultural uses such as housing, etc. The farmers are badly affected by the uncertainty of production and market. The higher the supply, the lower is the demand. Now, the impact of globalization on agriculture. Globalization is not a new phenomenon. It was there at the time of colonization till today. It is one of the important items of export from India. Cotton textile industries in Manchester and Liverpool flourished due to the availability of good quality cotton from India. The Champaran movement, which started in 1917 in Bihar, under globalization, particularly after 1990, the farmers in India have been exposed to new challenges. The consumers are divided into two categories: below poverty line and above poverty line. Creation of necessary infrastructure like irrigation facilities, availability of electricity, etc., may also attract private investments in agriculture. The focus on increasing food grains, producing which should be on a sustainable basis, and also free trade in grains will create massive employment and produce poverty in rural areas. There have been a gradual shift for cultivation of food crops to cultivate of fruits, vegetables, oil seeds, and industrial crops. This has led to the reduction in net sown area under cereals and pulses. The competition for land between non-agricultural uses such as housing, etc., and agriculture has resulted in a reduction in the net sown area. The production of land has started showing a decline trend. Fertilizers, pesticides, and insecticides, which once showed dramatic results, are now being held responsible for degrading the soils. Periodic scarcity of water has led to reduction in area under irrigation. Inefficient water management has led to waterlogging and salinity.